Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. I'm Tom Worth Jr. Saturday. The W video last night stirred up a lot. I knew it would. He is despised by many on the left. Like as much as we hate Trump, it seems. And I'm just going to leave that where it is. I said my piece on that. And hopefully for his own sake, he can do the right thing. As one commenter pointed out, at the very least, he could say he's not voting for Trump. He doesn't have to endorse Kamala Harris, but we know he's not voting for Trump. We know he hates him, and for what Trump did to his own family and for what Trump's done to his party. So we know where Bush stands. He just needs to say it out loud. That's the weird thing, that he won't say it out loud. Today I wanted to talk about a few things. I have a lot of loyal commenters, including some loyal trolls. And, you know, they've kind of grown on me, some of them, who have been there and faithfully comment, sometimes as if they've actually watched the video. I appreciate that. And there's one guy, I'm going to assume he's a guy, just statistically, if he's a she, then he's probably not going to bat for Trump. Imperial Motoring 3789. And this guy is always, he's always out there with the nonsense. I can reliably count on him to always chime in with ridiculousness. But sometimes we might dig a little deeper. We might find we share some musical taste. Or in this case, he might bring up something that I think is relevant in this. Probably something that most people have forgotten about. He says he brought up the thing about the thing that Obama said. Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. I'm not gonna play that. To Medvedev, when Medvedev was outgoing and Obama was running for re-election in 2012, and Obama had he shouldn't have done this. This is it's best if we don't see how the sausage is made moment. When he said to outgoing President Medvedev, who was just a puppet of Vladimir, at that time, Russia abided by their constitution that they had, you couldn't run more than a certain amount of times in a row, but there was no lifetime limit on terms. So he handpicked a guy, Medvedev, to be president while Putin was still there running everything in a different capacity. And then Medvedev didn't run against Putin, and Putin became president and then dictator eventually. But what Obama said to him, and they were meeting, and they were in public, and it was at a forum, and he said, tell Vladimir that, basically tell Vladimir, he didn't say tell Vladimir, but the understanding was that Putin would be coming back to power. So here's a message to pass along to your boss, is that I will have more flexibility after the election. And the flexibility he was talking about was regarding a missile shield over Europe, nuclear missile shield. But Russia didn't want this missile shield because it could stop Russian missiles. Really the concern was against rogue states like Iran or other people who shouldn't have nukes, that they could launch them into Europe and that there would be a missile shield. But of course, Europe could use this missile shield to knock out Russian missiles coming at them. And Russia didn't want that. So there needed to have negotiations taking place. And Obama said that. He basically said, look, he thought he would win, but he was saying, we're not going to be able to get anything done on this until after the election, because I'll be a lame duck really until the election. And once I have my 4-year term again, then we can actually have substantive conversations about this. And same with you, Medvedev. You're about to leave and you're going to have someone else come in here. So there's no point in us discussing this right now. And I'll have more flexibility to discuss these terms after the election. That is just a fact. It's nothing sinister or nefarious. It is completely different from what Trump does. Trump is perpetually enacting backroom deals with people like Putin that he doesn't ever want anyone to find out about because they're benefiting him personally. Or in Ukraine, by saying we're not going to let you stand as your own country and defend yourself against future Russian invasion unless you help us defeat our political opponent. Obama never does anything like this. He just matter-of-factly says, look, there's no point in discussing this right now. Let's do it after the election. And then I will have flexibility to do that. I will have political capital. We can, because it's going to take an act of Congress to do any agreements, and we just can't do that until the election's over. That's all he was saying. And I actually voted for Romney. Recall, I was glad to have a black president each time. I thought it was great for the country. Did not vote for Obama either time. I was a Republican. And I thought it was kind of laughable when Romney tried to use that as a like, oh, look what Obama's doing, because I had some understanding of foreign policy, and I was watching the Russia situation all along with Medvedev and how ridiculous that all was. So I knew exactly what Obama was talking about. It didn't bother me at all, even though I was a Republican voting for Mitt Romney. But this guy, this troll, he remembers that, and then that's good on him. Because nobody's perfect, and a lot of times we don't like to see how things are done, and they should be not captured. But that's not what Trump is. Trump is only ever doing this for himself. He's only ever trying to be a king or a dictator. That's not what Obama was doing. Obama was a constitutional scholar. He taught at Harvard. He cherished the Constitution. That's not Donald Trump at all. Another point was on the economy. An indicator that I've just had my eye on really all late summer into the fall is the DJT, the stock of Trump, which rises and falls with Trump's political aspirations. And after the debate with Biden, that thing went through the roof. And then once Kamala Harris was quickly named as his replacement and all of the support coalesced around her virtually overnight and all of the money came pouring in again, then the bottom dropped out of his stock. And then it started to recover. The highs and lows on this, since it went public last spring, the very highest it ever got was $79. The very lowest it ever got was $11. So in between that $80, $10 range is where it's bounced around. More recently, it shot up to in the 50s, but then just in the last few days, it came down to $30, over the course of this week, from its recent levels around 50 down to 30. So it's at 60% of where it was. And you can have pump and dump operations in stocks where and Musk would always do this with Tesla. This was my first thought, is Musk and Thiel have something to do with this, with it going up, because they know that people want to jump on something that's going up. And so if they can put just enough in to make it go up, then it could be some self-sustaining momentum. Other people would pile in. And then once that just kind of sustains itself, then they can get out because they know there's nothing behind this thing. They know that this thing can't win. This stock is a worthless stock if Trump loses, and everybody knows it. So that's what I think happened, is Musk and Thiel pumped it up for a month or two, and now it's time to get out, because they can't get out Wednesday morning. It's too late. Trump's lost. So they've got to get out now. But they have too much, or their entities have too much to just get out all in one day. Near as I could tell, you can see insider filings, and I looked at this just this morning. Trump still hasn't sold. Officially, there's no filings to indicate that. It doesn't mean he didn't. Maybe he did, but just didn't file anything, and will take his chances with the SEC later. But he's got several $billion of his worth tied up in this worthless stock. So knowing that he's going to lose, and Musk knowing that he's going to lose, they want to get out. I mean, they do want their billions. Like 20 million or 30 million for some manipulation is one thing in a prediction market. But if you're talking a billion or a few billion, which is what it would have taken to prop up this stock, then that's actual real money they don't want to lose. There was also talk about X, Twitter, possibly taking over Truth Social. And that's not real. Musk would not pay Trump what Trump would demand. And Musk already is kind of saddled with X financially. He bought it for, I believe, $44 billion. It's now worth like $10 billion. So he's erased 3/4 of the value as X. He's just as effective a businessman as Trump, it would appear. He does get good technology people working for him and does drive them to do technological things, but terrible businessman, just like Trump, just a fraudster. Always breaking laws and regulations and lying just to get values up. So that's a really important indicator, I think, and it just came down in chunks as the week went by each day. And so let's look and see what it does Monday. Does it suddenly pop up? Is there suddenly some money that's coming in saying, okay, Trump's really going to win this thing tomorrow? Is that what happens on Monday? I'm not seeing it, but I'll report back on that Monday afternoon, Monday night's video if I see that. So that's pretty encouraging to me. And then the last thing, I guess, is just for this Saturday, this reminder of hopefully we're all enjoying our lives. I just put some gas in my car. It's $2.67 a gallon. Gas prices are way down. Prices have stopped going up. Stock market's high. I mean, hell, even Bitcoin's $70,000 again. If you're into crypto, there's no economic reason. There's no economic reason to vote for Trump. His people, led by Elon Musk, are saying his tariff plan. That's really, we have like two things that we for sure know about Trump. One is that he wants absolute power and impunity from any of his crimes, past or future. And two, he will implement a tariff regime. And everybody says that that's going to make our prices go up. That is not in dispute. Elon Musk and one of Trump's other top economic advisors have been saying that this week. So I don't know why they would say that this week. I've speculated as to why it might be, but honestly, there's no good reason to say that. Unless you're trying to actively throw the election. Which I don't think he's actually doing. But I do think he knows he's going to lose. And everything keeps pointing to that. You can have fake polls and you can have manipulated prediction markets. Those are the only two things that are indicating any kind of close race for Trump. So I'm feeling good about things this weekend, and hopefully you all are too. It's really all I wanted to cover today. I think they're big though. I think the DJT stock, because that is billions of dollars of his net worth, that's what drives the man, that and only that. That's taken a beating this week, and it took a beating in the spring and summer, and then it bounced around, but we've always known that November 5th, the jig is up. Like, that stock is literally worthless. And so if Donald Trump has $1 billion or $2 billion or $3 billion on paper in that stock that he knows will become worth $0 Wednesday morning, you would expect it to start chunking down. It's not a type of thing that you can do in one day. It has to be done over several days. So that's what I think is happening now. And we will check again on Monday. So that's it. And I hope you all have a good day. And we'll talk tomorrow.